welcome to Mountain Sledder Garage. Today we're at Moto United in Draper, Utah. They sell Skidoo and Polaris snowmobiles, plus a bunch of other watercrafts, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. But today we're here with Ron Ashby. He's kind of like their snowmobile expert in the sales department. So if you need anything snowmobile-wise, come talk with him. And we're going to go, we have a brand new 2022 Skidoo Turbo and a brand new 2022 Polaris Turbo. We're going to go weigh them, just kind of see who gets bragging rights for less weight in the snowmobile segment this year. So come around back here, we're going to go weigh these two machines and show you what they both weigh, and then we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards. All right, here we are with our brand new sleds. The Patriot Boost 165, the Skidoo Summit Expert 165. And if you want to come in, we're going to show you, we're going to weigh both these sleds wet. So, okay, I don't know if you can see the gas sloshing down right in there, right at the top. It's completely full as I could get it. Oil tank's completely full. We have the belt, extra plugs, and the tool. Pretty much everything you need on a sled to go ride it has to go in that little thing. All right, we come over to our Skidoo. Kind of the same thing, pretty much bone stock Skidoo. Now it does have this little plastic pouch on the back, but other than that, same thing. I'm completely full of gas, completely full of oil, stock tools, extra belt, pretty much everything you would put on a sled to go ride it, just like the other one. I like weighing my sleds wet just because it's the way I go ride them, so I want to know kind of where they're at to start with. My guess is going to be within 10 pounds of each other. We're going to weigh them here on the scale, and we're going to bring them over and we'll show you here in just a second. All right, now that we've zeroed out the scale with the straps on it, we're going to weigh this Skidoo. Now lift this thing up off the ground and see what it weighs. All right, completely off the ground now. We're going to let the scale, it's going to swing a little bit, and the scale's going to have to wait a second to normalize. All right, so we're right at probably 568. 568, pretty respectable. When I've weighed the Skidoo normally aspirated, it's only a few pounds less than that, so pretty good for Skidoo making a sled that's not much more than their normally aspirated sled. So let's let this thing down, and then we'll go weigh the Polaris. All right, now we're going to weigh the Polaris Boost 165 Turbo. We'll see where we get with weight here. We know the Axys 165 is one of the lightest sleds on the market. Be interesting to see what they did with the Boost and the Matrix chassis. All right, now we're off the ground. Oh wow, that's a lot less than I thought. And that, honestly, that really surprises me, because when I've weighed my Skidoos before and weighed my Polarises before, and I kind of know what they weighed, I kind of expected this to weigh more around 550, but 532, that's super impressive. Yeah, I'm actually shocked. Yeah. I'm shocked it's 30 pounds less. Yeah, with the turbo kit. Okay, now we're back in the Mountain Sledder Garage. Just came back from weighing the Patriot Boost and the Skidoo Factory Turbo. Let's just talk a little bit about these two sleds we weighed for a second. I mean, they're pretty close to identical sleds, being different brands, but there's a few differences that are going to affect the weight of both sleds, either in a positive way or a negative way. Let's talk about first why these two sleds are the same. Both 2022s. They're both 850 motors, factory turbo. They're both 100% completely stock, where you'd buy it off the showroom floor other than the spare belt. They're both 165 tracks. And that's about where the similarities end. Let's talk about some of the differences now. We just mentioned the 165 track. The Skidoo has a 3-inch lug track that's 16 inches wide. The Polaris has a 2.75-inch lug track that's 15 inches wide. The little bit narrower Polaris track, that's going to affect it by a couple of pounds, and the little bit shorter lug is going to affect it by a couple of pounds. The other thing different on these two sleds, Polaris comes with a belt drive. Skidoo comes with a chain case, also going to be a couple pounds negative for the Skidoo. Would try and find one of these with a 3-inch track with a chain case on it, but my dealer, no one snow checked them. They didn't have any, and I don't know anyone that snow checked one of these that I could weigh that had a chain case model or a 3-inch track. So I was kind of stuck with this 2.75 track with the belt drive. So there we have the Polaris. Now let's talk about some of the other differences with the Skidoo. The main thing is Skidoo has e-start, which the shot, which is awesome. It's not free electric start. It does weigh a couple of pounds of electronics involved in the shot system. weigh a few pounds, so that's also going to make the Skidoo weigh a little bit more. Skidoo, like we talked about, had the chain case, also a little bit wider track. Another, one of probably the biggest differences on these two snowmobiles is how much fuel they hold. Polaris holds 11.5 gallons of fuel, the Skidoo about 9 gallons of fuel. And if you consider that fuel is about 8 pounds per gallon, we got 2.5 more gallons of fuel in the Polaris. That's about 12 extra pounds all fueled up that the Polaris is going to weigh, which is a pretty big thing. But it's one of those things, I mean, a lot of these same things I'm talking about, the differences, is not things that we can really change. It's just the way we buy the sled. They're kind of just splitting hairs from one sled to another. Two phenomenal sleds. I mean, I own both. I love riding both. I'm not going to say one's any better than the other. They're both phenomenal sleds. When we went to make this video over at Moto United, I would have bet money, like a lot of money, that the Polaris only weighed 10 or 15 pounds less than the Skidoo. I was pretty convinced that's where we're going to end up. So over 30 pounds, that was really shocking to me, the 30-pound difference. I mean, they both had stock cans, stock everything that you'd buy off the showroom floor other than a full tank of gas and a full tank of oil. So pretty impressive, you know. Polaris has set a pretty high bar just as far as how much less they weigh. Also in their performance part, they have a little bit more power. They run a little bit more boost than Skidoo does. Now, do any of these differences we talk about, the weight, why we made this video, is it going to be a big deal? The Skidoo rides really light. I mean, when I had my 17 Skidoo, I honestly really didn't like it. And I really was kind of torn whether I wanted to buy a new one or not. But when I bought my 2020 and a half at the beginning of last year, rode it most of last year, some this year, I love that sled. It is phenomenal. I'm not here to bash on Skidoo by any means just because they weigh more. It is a phenomenal snowmobile. They sold a ton of them this year. Polaris Matryx, phenomenal snowmobile. You really can't go wrong with either one. You just have to know kind of what you're getting when you buy each one. That's kind of why I make these videos. So the other thing I wanted to do, just so you kind of get an idea where we're at with the turbo sleds, I have my 2020 Chaos here, completely stock. We're going to weigh that now just so you have an idea of what, with both these sleds weighing 500, a little over 530, a little more over 560 to see what a stock sled without a turbo weighs. So let's weigh this. I'll show you. I'm just going to show you that it is all stock. You know, we got our stock can on it. We do have an aftermarket bumper, you know, maybe a half a pound more than the stock bumper. Stock skis, stock ski seat, even the bag that this comes with stock. It's a 2.6 155 tracks. I'll show you that it's full of fuel. You can just see the fuel right down there in the fuel neck. And then I just filled it up with oil, so oil's completely full to the top. We got our spare belt in there, our tool. We even have a spare quick drive belt in there. So anyway, let's go ahead and weigh this. We'll show you what it weighs compared to the other turbo sleds, just so you get a reference point of where we're at with the factory turbo. Okay, now I have our straps and our scale hooked up just like the sleds that we did over at Moto United. I'm gonna lift this thing up. Have this thing all the way off the ground now. Let's go up and just see what it weighs. We're talking 515, which is what I've heard a fully weighted with gas and oil 155 belt drive Polaris weighs. So really nice for Polaris. Definitely the lightest stock sled on the market is the Axys 155 belt drive sled. All right, so there we have our weights. 2022, completely stock, full of gas and oil, factory turbo Skidoo, 565-ish pounds, boost 165, completely stock, full of gas and oil, just over 530 pounds. So big difference there, 30-ish pounds. And then the 2020 Chaos 155 2.6 sled coming in at 515. Amazing that we can make sleds this light and perform so well. Hope this kind of helps you. I don't know if it'll help you make decisions or not. I think people are either Skidoo guys or Polaris guys, and you're going to buy whatever. I honestly don't think the weight difference on the two machines should sway you. If you really like one machine, buy it. If you really like another machine, buy it. But just kind of know what the specs are when you're buying it. Kind of gives you a little bit of bragging rights if you're a Polaris rider and you have the lightest sled on the market. I'm glad that you joined in with us, and we'll see you next time in Mountain Sledder Garage. Make sure you like the videos, share the videos, push the subscribe button on YouTube down here, a little red button that says subscribe on it, and we'll see you next time in Mountain Sledder Garage.